Hi friends, it's Amy Tangerine. Raise your hand if you've ever saved a notebook or sticker sheet because it felt too special to use. Yep, me too. But today we're doing something different. We're finally cracking open a fresh journal, mixing some of the old supplies I've been hanging on to with a few shiny new goodies I just picked up, and seeing where the creativity takes us. Since I get asked all the time what my favorite go-to supplies are, I thought it'd be fun to share the handful of tools and things that I reach for again and again, the ones that have helped me fill literally thousands of creative pages over the years. These are my top 10 journaling supplies, the ones that make every page feel inviting instead of intimidating, and that really spark my creativity no matter what I'm working on. Some are old favorites I've loved for years, and others are newer discoveries that instantly earned a permanent spot on my desk. And the best part, you don't need everything, just the right mix that inspires you to open up your notebook and start creating. First, you need a notebook. Now, this is very personal to everybody, and I am a bit of a notebook collector, so much so that this Leuchtturm 1917 B5 notebook has been in my collection. It's a slim one, has been in my collection for well over 5 years. I have a few of these that I am so reluctant to open up, but the soft cover is amazing. So you just need to choose a notebook that you want to use. The magic isn't in keeping it pristine. The magic lies in filling these pages with your stories, ideas, and little moments. Number 2 supply is a pen. This is my favorite brush pen at the moment. Well, the zebra brush pens are my favorite. This is one of them because it has the 2 tips. And I am simply going to write my name. I know it doesn't seem like that big of a deal to do this, but oftentimes it can feel like the first marks are the hardest. We feel a little stifled or intimidated by the blank page. I'm even going to draw my little tangerine. Now I will simply use the other side, which is a smaller tip, to put in our mailing address. I really want this whole video to be a gentle nudge for you. Maybe you've been holding on to a certain notebook or journal or stickers or even pens that feel too precious. Let's use them. Let's play and let's unlock something within us so that we don't feel intimidated by the blank pages. We feel inspired and invigorated. Number 3, die cuts. I've had many die cuts through the years, and these Tim Holtz ideology ones are brand new to me, at least, and I think that they're full of possibilities. There are so many pieces that come in this pack, 136 pieces to be exact. This is the ephemera pack called Palette, and it was from, it looks like 2023. However, it's new to me, and I think that's what is really calling when it comes to using and finding supplies that are inspiring, that make you want to create. And Tim Holtz products just have that effect. I love the different sizes and shapes of these die cuts. The mix of vintage feeling with a modern twist is what I'm going to go for my cover page. So I'm selecting the ones that really resonate with me, the ones that really call out to me for whatever reason. And that's one of the ways that I recommend you start, especially when you're digging through your supplies and you might feel overwhelmed, or you think that you want to buy a bunch of stuff when you already have some things and you might feel guilty. Oh, look, this alphabet thing is really cute too. Sorry, my arm is in there. But there's so many possibilities when it comes to what kind of look you want to establish and what kind of starting point you want to begin with. Now, I'm looking at the shapes, colors, elements, and like I said, just going through to feel out what calls to me for whatever reason. The great thing about ephemera is that you actually don't even have to pay for it if you don't want to. Collect things from around your house or around the spaces you go to and places you visit. Ephemera can be anything, which I think is why junk journaling is so popular nowadays, is because there is a rise of us appreciating all these little things that we can collect, and there's something so satisfying about creating with our hands. Now, as I am laying out this selection of die cuts or ephemera that I have chosen, I'm going to set these aside and grab the number 4 supply, which is paint. Now you can use any paint, but I love gouache, and this brand of gouache in particular, Opera, is probably my favorite color. I want to give my local art supply store a shout out here. It's called Graphades. They are well stocked with their color selection. While these can be a little on the pricey side, I have found that a little goes a long way and they last. They have not dried up, and I've had some of these colors for many years. This actually goes hand in hand with number 5, this Catalyst Wedge tool. I love the way it feels. If you've been watching my videos for quite some time, you know how obsessed I am with this wedge tool. I'll show you how I use them both in a second. But number 6 is these Dina Wakley Media Scribble sticks. So you don't actually have to get this exact thing, but anything that comes in rainbow order in a tin that makes you feel like a kid again. So it's a set of anything that could be crayons, markers, you know, those supplies that make you feel like you can buy something for back to school and it just makes you feel happy to use. That is what I would recommend for number 6. These are also a new to me supply, but they've been out for many years, and the way Dina uses them is so inspiring. However, I have never seen her use them in action. I've only seen the results of what she's created. So I am simply going to take it upon myself. I don't know if you know this about me, but I don't like to research how supplies are meant to be used. I like to attempt them in my own way first. I find it freeing, and much like playing when I was a kid, it gives me an opportunity to make mistakes and learn from them. So I love these colors, and I honestly would have just left them like this. However, I think because they're water soluble, I'm going to add some water on here. But here's what happened, you guys. I had blue paint on this brush that I guess I didn't properly wash off. I thought this would blend a little bit differently, and I think it would have if my brush was completely clean. So you can even see that the water is tinted a little bit blue, and I don't know why it didn't occur to me to clean them more thoroughly. I just thought the jar was stained. So I'm getting sort of this muddy green color that I am not loving. I'm gonna go clean this, see what happens. I probably should have just switched brushes because this is a black bristle brush and it's not showing exactly the staining, and apparently I didn't clean it properly enough. But I am not hating the results here. I'm just not loving them. While I could just let this air dry, I'm putting a heat tool on it to speed up the process, which brings me to number 7, patterned paper of some sort. This is my book, Paper Play 2, and I created it with the intention of giving you artful backgrounds to layer to make your own. It turns out that I use it quite often to cover up mistakes or things I don't like. Many of you have had the kindest things to say about it. Thank you so much. It is a book that you tear apart freely, and there's all kinds of different patterns and colors and areas where you can tear out just pieces if you like a particular color. I really wanted to grab this section right here. Because you tear it apart freely, the pages are not meant to be perforated, and they're not. And of course, you can use scissors or an X-Acto to cut them out if you prefer. Personally, it gives me great pleasure and satisfaction to rip and tear the papers, and perhaps you feel the same way, even if at first it seems scary. Number 8, a glue stick or adhesive. My favorites are linked below. While I prefer to use glue stick for paper, I have really started also loving liquid glues, and for photos I use a tape runner. As you can see, the straight edge of paper play is lined up with the straight edge of the notebook. And it brings me back to the gouache that we talked about earlier. This is opera, and I'm going to just add a little splotch there and take this amazing wedge tool and spread it around. There is something very freeing about this. Personally, I love the pop of color, and the mix of playing with new supplies is always exciting, but what I love even more is how the new pieces breathe fresh life into older favorites. Even though there's a vintage look, you can adopt your supplies to your style. Mix your saved treasures with fresh finds for instant magic. This flower cluster was tricky a little bit because I didn't want to use the whole thing. I like the idea of cutting up die cuts as well to make the most of our supplies, but placement is really subjective. It's personal. And the less you overthink about it and approach it from a playful point of view, it's probably better for your process. At least for mine it is. The 5 hearts is significant because that is my favorite number. And of course I love and sharing the love of these fun hobbies. This is a photo strip that I have a duplicate of that's already documented in my summer book. So I'm going to give this a little fresh twist with a pair of scissors, which is an essential, but I'm not listing it here because I feel like it's sort of a given as far as supplies go. I didn't actually realize that I had recorded this in time lapse. So you get the idea. I'm committing every element down on paper, and then I'm bringing in my number 9 favorite supply, which is stickers. This is a fresh sticker sheet that has only been sold at in-person events. It's 8.5 by 5.5 matte vinyl, and we will be launching it on our website in our shop in just a few days. I've already stuck down Always Look for the Magic, and before I stick any others down, I'm realizing that I want to do some of those scribbles that I had initially done, but this time, guess what? I'm not adding any water. So I'm making some marks to kind of ground the pieces together. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but the idea is that I wanted to bring in this color to the page, and so scribbles are just flowing down, and then I can grab whichever sticker feels good, which is this Live Life Fully. Okay, confession, I used to save my stickers as if they were too precious, but guess what? They're way more fun to use on the page than just on the sheet or package. Using stickers is like giving your journal an instant pop of joy. So the time is now, is what the sticker says, and it's my message to you. Use those stickers. The time is now. Don't overthink it. Just peel, stick, and see where it takes you. The cool thing about stickers too is they can be the star of the page or just accents. There's not a wrong way to use them. Actually, in fact, I think the wrong way to use them is to only collect them and not use them. I mean, really though, if you are a collector like I am, and I still admit that I do in fact probably design stickers just so that I can collect and save some sheets, I want to also empower you and ask you, why wait? Why wait? Why not use the supplies that you love? This hummingbird and this typed, "It sure is a beautiful day," which is my friend Kat Sadler's favorite quote. You'll see it in various stickers in different ways throughout my items. And this is a dandelion to make a wish, because I try and make a wish every chance I get. Remember, there will always be more stickers. The magic happens when you actually use them. So let's take our scissors and cut this top part off. I want to maybe save that part too. There's another part of me that really wants to save things and also wants to be resourceful and use up every bit. So I found out that I prefer using it right away as opposed to saving it for a future project. I hope that makes sense. It really brings me more joy to find a place for this to go. You could also stick it on a different page in your notebook to have a fresh starting point for your next spread. This is a new to me set of retro pastel liners by Marvi Uchida. They are so fun because this beige matches the background of the stickers. So I just added some line details, which brings me finally to number 10, inks and stamps. I also threw in a stencil. What's beautiful about these items is that you can feel as if they are an infinite resource. It is rare that you'll use up a stencil because that's not the nature of them. I'm taking this new Distress Oxide ink in mustard seed. Well, the set is new to me, these mini ones. And Tim Holtz has these beautiful little mini blending brushes. There's a bundle available on Simon Says Stamp. I've linked it below, and I just like mixing the colors and playing around. It feels very inviting and freeing, and it doesn't make you think that you're going to use up something that's precious. Oh, look, collect beautiful moments. Great minds think alike. These are new to me stamps, and they are by Tim Holtz. Stamps are like the gift that keeps on giving. The best thing about stamps is that they never run out. You can keep coming back to them again and again. Unlike stickers, stamps are kind of endless. One set can last you years and still feel fresh, especially a set like this with so many various sentiments. It feels timeless. Think of your stamps as forever tools. They'll never run out of magic, especially when you share them. They're great for card making. You can see possibility everywhere when you use your supplies. Now, I could have made this list much longer, but I narrowed it down to 10. I hope you have enjoyed seeing these supplies come alive. It's not about having everything. It's about finding the few things that make you excited to play, create, and explore. I can't wait to show you what I did to the cover of this notebook in an upcoming video. I'd love to hear from you. Comment below and let me know your favorite supplies, tried and true. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already and give this video a thumbs up. Thanks as always for watching. Hope you feel inspired to get those creative juices flowing, my friend.